Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here, or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please do so. Hit that thumbs up button for me, drop your comments, follow me on social media, share the video, join the channel, get the merch, do it all because this is the season to celebrate being a Knicks fan. New York Knicks are now off to a 2-0 start. They just took care of business against the Boston Celtics, a very different team than they faced last season in the postseason. Very different. Jason Tatum is hurt. He was on the sidelines watching the game like this. Kristaps Porzingis is wearing red and white down in Atlanta. And Al Horford is with Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler in San Francisco. So that team is very different, which is why this year is so important, which is why this type of win is so important. This is the type of win that the Knicks would not have gotten in previous years. Once they start stumbling in the second half or come out flat in the third quarter, they would lose the lead and then try to claw it back, but not this time. They maintained their lead the entire way in the second half, even though they were once up by 26 points over these Boston Celtics and let them get within a single digits. I think 9 points is the closest they got. They were able to hold them off for a nice win over the Celtics, 105. Oh, I have the wrong score there. It's 105-95. Yeah, 105-95. You know, it could have been a tie game. You know, there's no ties in basketball. All right, 105-95. That's 105-95. That's what the final score was. Brunson, 31 points. Karl Anthony Towns, a double-double, 26 points and 13 rebounds for him. Even though, well, we'll get into that later. Deuce gets the start. And Josh Hart plays a game as a New York Knick finally this season. And you know what, tell you something? The man was all over the court. He couldn't shoot he could not even hit the rim in a three-point shot late in that, I think it was in the fourth quarter. Completely whiffed it. I don't know, that funky finger. He's got to learn how to figure out how to shoot with that funky finger. Or maybe he's got to just take some time off and get that thing repaired. But his hustle was tremendous. Delivered game-high 14 rebounds. I got highlights for you guys. We're going to break this game down. This is another really sweet win for the Knicks. Even though the Knicks in the second quarter outscored themselves in the entire second half. They scored 42 points in the second quarter, only could muster up 41 points total in the second half. But they were able to hang on. Let's go. Here we go. That's the correct score, 105-95. So please disregard that mistake down there. But I want to get to this because this is something where at the half I tweeted this out, and I still feel the same, even though they got sloppy in the second half with turnovers. I think they just took the foot off the gas, and that's a big mistake against a team with the heart of a champion, like I said before, like the Celtics have, who they don't want to be embarrassed. So for Celtics to lose this game by just 10, they helped them save some face. But this is how I felt at the half. Knicks are so fun to watch now. I've been waiting for what feels like ever for a team like this to be wearing orange and blue. Thank you, Leon. Thank you, James Dolan. Thank you, Captain Clutch and Cat. Thank you, Brock. Thank you, anyone else who helped put this team together. This is fine. I mean, it's like when you're a kid. I don't know how it is nowadays, but back when I was a kid, things were a little slower. So when you were 8 years old and the gift you wanted when you were like 7 was still probably the gift you wanted when you were 8 and when you were 9, where there was like an electric car set or some cool video game or something. And you waited and you waited. And every Christmas you opened up every gift and it wasn't there. So you loved the gifts you got, but it wasn't the one you really wanted. Until that year when your grandmother, who listens, gets you the one gift you have been wanting for what felt like your whole life at that point. This is what this feels like for me. And I know it's early. I know it's only game 2. But I can see the writing on the wall. And it's clear as day. New York, baby, New York. But I fell down. New York has the team this season to go all the way. And it's just the beginning. Even with the flaws they have, their highs are so high. I just cannot see other teams being able to keep up with this team, at least in the East. We'll see what happens when they face teams in the West. Those are a completely different animal. Fantastic teams. We'll see what happens. But in the East, the Knicks are the beasts. Let's go. Cat was 2 of 10 from inside the arc tonight, but finished with a double-double, and Knicks won by 10. New York has too many weapons, even when they get sloppy with the ball in the second half and lose OG Anunoby for the closing minutes for an undetermined injury. Turns out it was just a cramp. And if he could have returned into the game, he could have. I mean, if they needed him to return to the game, he would have returned to the game. It was just a cramp. Oh, my God, what a relief to hear that. Tommy Beer. This is what I'm talking about here. I was going to tweet this exact thing out, and then Tommy Beer fucking comes out with it right away before me. Knicks versus Cavs and Celtics in regular season last year, 0-8. We could not even scratch out one victory between those two teams. It would have been nice to have gotten one victory off of each one. Not even one. A big, fat fucking goose egg. 0 for 8, and you remember the agony of last season of that? The bitter taste that it felt, even though it was beautiful when we got to the playoffs and we dethroned the Celtics, but all the way we had to suffer October, November, all the way through April. Could not even pick up one mercy win. This year, 2-0 in the first 2 games against those teams. Enjoy that. Enjoy it. And it's not going to end. It's going to keep going. It's going to keep going. Jalen Brunson. He got off to a rocky start. Couldn't make a bucket. I think it was 1 for 6 in the beginning, but finishes 10 of 20, 50% from the field, hits 3 of 7 from the three-point line, delivers 31 points, got 3 rebounds and 5 dimes, and the man is looking like himself again. Loved what he did tonight. He was... Sometimes he did over dribble a few moments here and there, but most of the time he played within the new construct of the new offense that Mike Brown has instituted, the ball movement offense, the cutting with purpose offense. Setting up my notes here for you guys. Beautiful game from the captain. And Cat, like I told you, he could not hit a bucket inside the arc. He was 2 of 10, but beyond the arc, 4 of 6. That's right. He attempted 6 3-pointers, buried 4 of them, 66.7%, went to the free throw line 12 times, hit 10 of them. The Knicks at the free throw line, 88%, 22 of 25. Cat with the 13 rebounds, 3 dimes, got a steal. He even got a block. He did turn the ball over 5 times. That's the Cat experience, the Karl-Anthony Towns experience. But he finishes with 26 points, and he finishes as a +6. Great game for him. Those are the two stat stars of the game. Stat stars. But the other star for me of this game, even though when you look at his efficiency numbers, they're not going to be there, Deuce McBride. Deuce McBride gets the start over Huck Porty. And by the way, can we talk about Huck Porty? Ariel! Was he even on the bench? What happened to him? He starts game 1, plays a pivotal role, and then gone for game 2. I hope one of the reporters asks Mike Brown about that. Actually, I have part of Mike Brown's post-game interview for us to listen to. Not a single minute for Huck Porty or for Diawara or for Dadier. The Dadier one, I'm not as surprised. But the Knicks did go 10 deep tonight. Shamet, Hart, Yabusele, Clarkson, and Kolek all played. Kolek had a great stretch for a while, and then he got a little sloppy. At one point, he ended up with 3 turnovers. I think he just got the ball pressure got to him, but he was playing beautifully for a good stretch there, especially in that second quarter when the Knicks just dominated them. But Deuce, every time the Knicks need a rally stunting big bucket, he did it in game 1. He did it again tonight. Twice. Unbelievable. And those are the only 2 threes he made. 2 of 9. He wasn't that efficient. But he delivers 10 points, 4 assists, got a steal, got a block, 4 rebounds, and finishes a +3. He's my other somewhat star of the game. All right, we got stats here. Before we get to the highlights, let's get to the Mike Brown post-game interview.
The tale of 2 halves. Boston did a great job of staying with whatever their game plan was. I thought in the first half we did a great job, even to start the game, of playing the right way, just making simple plays. The tale of 2 halves. Boston did a great job of staying with whatever their game plan was. I thought in the first half we did a great job, even to start the game, of playing the right way, just making simple plays, touching the paint and spraying it. We had 12 sprays in the first half, and that's the way we want to play. They're a good defensive team, and good defensive teams usually are a heavy shift team. They want to protect the paint. And I thought our first 10 possessions, we had probably 5 wide open catch and shoot threes that just didn't go in, that normally go in. But our guys stayed with it. They didn't go away from the way we play the game of basketball. And finally, the shots started going in. And then, our defense picked up a little bit. And we went on a big run. Our second unit, Tyler, Jordan, I think Josh was out there, Yabu, those guys, maybe Mikhail might have been mixed in, or OG might have been mixed in. Those guys were really, really good. Jordan ended up being our defense player of the game, but because he sparked us, I thought, defensively during that time. It could have been anybody. Tyler ended the game with, I think, 4 or 5 deflections, if not more. Josh, man, a monster. Now, Josh could have easily got it as well. He guarded everybody. Not only did he guard everybody, he had 6 offensive rebounds, 8 defensive rebounds. I don't know if I've ever seen this before. 14 rebounds in 19 minutes. Just a phenomenal game doing the dirty stuff by Josh. And again, I thought that group, they were huge for us in the second quarter, helping us get the lead. But in the second half, again, tale of 2 halves. I thought their pressure bothered us a little bit. We had 16 turnovers. The first half, we had 16 assists. Second half, we had 7 assists. And so when we were touching the paint, we weren't.
Okay. Not sure what's been happening here lately with these post games, but the interviews, you got to hear the audio. It was all out of sync, so apologies about that. To fix that, but you can hear Josh he was unbelievable on the boards. He had so much energy. He hasn't played in weeks, so the guy had boundless energy. I love how he goes, I've never seen this. 14 rebounds in 19 minutes. Well, remember Mitch? 16 rebounds in 18 minutes or something like that. So, and we're missing Mitch. We need to get Mitch back. As I reported in the pregame show, Ian Begley tweeted out that Mitch Robinson will be accompanying the team on the 3-game road trip beginning in Miami on Sunday. So presumably, I would presume he will play at least some games during this road trip. Even if it is just one, I'm expecting that Mitch will probably play that Tuesday game against Milwaukee, against the Bucks in Milwaukee. That's my assumption. Maybe he'll start on Sunday. Or maybe he'll play on Sunday. We'll see about that. Let's get to the highlights. All right. So as I mentioned, Deuce gets the start right away. And Cat, look at that. Quick release. Immediately hit 3 of 4 from the three-point line right away. It was nice to see him just without hesitation letting that three-point shot fly. We need him to like lean into that. That is a key part of his game. It's a key part of the success component of this lineup. This is supposed to be a 5-out lineup. So Cat, let it fly when you get that ball out there on the perimeter and you got a shorter guy on you, or you have at least enough space to do it. Now the Knicks fell behind. They couldn't make buckets. They were down 14-7, and then Cat, boom, sinks another quick three. And at one point, there was a great back cut by McCall that Deuce bounce passes. This might be it. No, this is not it. No, this is another Cat 3. Woo! There we go. And he got the and one. I can't remember if he hit that and one. Look at this ball swinging all over the place. Shamet was the first guy off the bench. Buries the 3. That is the spraying. That's Brunson getting into the teeth of the defense, deep into the paint, spraying it to the corner, and then another swing pass to the open guy. That is textbook offense for Mike Brown. Jaylen Brown, he tried to do all he could for Boston to keep them around. What did he finish with? Jaylen Brown finished with 23 points. He had decent efficiency numbers, but not as impactful as they needed to be, considering Jason Tatum is out. He finished a minus 14. All right, here we are in the second quarter. This is the quarter where the Knicks complete dominate. Look at this, beautiful. Like Kolek gets right into the paint, touches paint, sprays it out to McCall for an easy 3. Love that play right there. Here we go. So now the Knicks, it's tied 33-33, and pretty soon the Knicks, after this, just put their foot on the pedal. And this is the team. Kolek, Yabusele, who did not look good in the first quarter. He looked slow. He got beat off the dribble by Sherman. Beat off the dribble by Sherman. He looked slow as fuck. And then he nails this three-pointer here. Get this play right here. Brunson getting out there. Clarkson shooting with freedom tonight. Clarkson was 2 of 4 overall from the three-point line. Finished with 6 points. Was a plus 12 in his 15 and a half minutes of play. Brunson doing Brunson things right there. Look at that. Now the Knicks built up the lead. Now they're up 52-39. This deep Hauser three-pointer kept the Celtics around. Now that it's only a 10-point lead, but will that stay? We'll see. Knicks build it up to 4. Now they got a 14-point lead. Oh, I wish they had shown that other highlight, but they didn't have it. Here's Hart just passing it to Cat. Cat getting in there. Nice little finger roll. Cat was, I told you, this was only one of the 2 buckets he made inside the arc. He struggled tonight, and I think that grade 2 quad strain definitely is impacting his ability to play down low in the low post. OG Anunoby, he was having a good game, and then he got hurt. He did finish only 3 of 10 from the field, but 2 of 7 from the three-point line. 10 points, finishes a plus 10 for him. Here we are in the third quarter, where the Knicks start going away from what was working in the first half. Nice little curl right there. Pass it out to the corner. Deuce hits a big bucket here. This is what I'm talking about. The Knicks had like a 20-something point lead at one point, and that's Deuce bearing a key 3 right there to put an end to that Celtics run. At one point, the Knicks had a 28-6 run in the second quarter, guys. Here comes McCall into the paint, front rims it, passes it out to Brunson, and Brunson nails his 3 right there. Beautiful. One of 3, Brunson's 3 three-pointers. He ended up shooting almost 43% for the game. And there's Mikal Bridges bearing a big-time bucket 3, deep 3 right there. Mikal had a really nice game. He finished a game high in plus-minus, plus 15. Look at Deuce beating the entire Celtics defense, going right through the center, splitting it with a nice kiss off the glass. So the Knicks now building up a decent lead here, and then start to fall asleep. The turnovers start taking over. And the Celtics start hitting some shots. It coincided. Brown muscling Shamet. Shamet, he started off well, and then he started getting punished a lot. I don't think he can handle guarding Jaylen Brown over a long stretch of a game. He finished a -8. He was actually the lowest on the team with a -8. And Hugo Gonzalez, really exciting player. Stan Van Gundy, basically, he was like drooling over Hugo in the Prime. I had to watch it on Prime Video. I think we all did, right? Is it even on MSG? I wasn't sure. Man, later on, there is a funky-ass three-point shot by, look at this play. But that didn't count because I think Kolek was out of bounds, so it didn't count. Here we go in the fourth quarter. Knicks are still clinging to a 17-point lead right here. And then a three. In the fourth quarter, Knicks got hurt here. The Knicks were outscored 30-23 in that fourth quarter. And a lot of it was turnovers. Just the Celtics built up, they increased their defensive presence. And like I said, started hitting some buckets. So now, 12-point game. And then they get it to 10. I think they even get it to 9. But here, Cat, humongous three-point shot right there. The lead gets trimmed to 12, and then Cat buries a deep three to bring it up to 15. But the Celtics kept coming. Now the Knicks have a 14-point lead with a little over 7 minutes left. Pritchard short front rims that. The defense, Deuce's defense on Pritchard, even though Deuce didn't have a great offensive night, his defense on Pritchard was essential in this game for the victory. So here we are. I believe he nails this. And now this is it. This is when it gets under 9 points. Finally, it was been a double-digit lead for most of the game. No, now it's a 91-81. Another big one of Hart's big rebounds, offensive rebounds. Hart had how many offensive rebounds? Hart had 6 offensive rebounds in this game. Phenomenal. So clinging to that double-digit lead, they get it up to 12 here. Oh, now it's back to 10. Here comes Brunson, finds Deuce in the corner. Boom, another big bucket. So that's Deuce only hit 2 of 9 from the three-point line, and they were both big buckets to keep the Knicks ahead or to stop a Boston rally, and he did that in game 1. All right, here you go. Now it's an 11-point game with just a little over 2 minutes left. Nice little bounce pass from Brunson to Cat. Want to see more of that, but bad transition defense. Knicks did not get back and let Derek White just waltz right in and finish. And now it's a 9-point lead, but then the captain clutch comes through with the big bucket. Now we're back to the beginning. There you go. Let's look at these stats right here really quick. As I mentioned, Brunson was the game high, 31 points. Towns, 26. All 5 starters in double figures. Deuce with 10 points. Anunoby with 10 points. Bridges with a key 12, very efficient, 5 of 10 overall, 2 of 4 from the three-point line, 6 rebounds for him, and 2 assists. But when you look at like Yabusele, 3 points, only 1 three-pointer he made, only attempted 2 shots. And Clarkson attempted 5 shots, hit 2 three-pointers, 6 points for him, but played a very good defensive game as well, which I really was impressed by that. Josh Hart, 3 assists to go along with his 14 rebounds, only 2 points made, 1 of 8 from the field, 0 of 3 from the three-point line. If he can figure out how to shoot with that funky finger, then imagine coupling that type of defensive presence and ball handling and playmaking with, making a few extra shots. This team is just going to be like really tough to deal with. Shamet, 14 minutes for him, 1 of 2. And Kolek, 13 minutes for him, 1 of 2 as well. Picked up 4 assists. He had a great stretch for a while there. He was all over the place. And there was one play, they didn't show it here, where Derek White was just racing down to lay the ball off the glass, and Kolek cut in front of him. Should have picked up the charging foul, but they didn't call it. And Mikal Bridges just he slowed. Kolek slowed White down enough for Mikal Bridges to just block that ball. Beautiful play. Great team defense. All right, let's move on. Here's the plus minus. Game high plus minus was Mikal Bridges with a plus 15. Second was Jordan Clarkson with a plus 12. That's a great sign. I've been worried about Clarkson, worried about his effectiveness on the court. Can he give us quality minutes? Tonight he did it, especially in that second quarter when the Knicks made that run. And then coming up second there in plus minus was OG Anunoby with a plus 10 himself. The Celtics, they did what they could. Anthony Simons came off the bench. I believe he hasn't come off the bench since 2021. That's what they said in the broadcast. But look, only 1 of 4 from the three-point line, 10 points. Really not much of a stat line for him in 27 minutes of play. Brown had a decent stat line, but in this kind of a game without Tatum around, he needs to contribute 33 points. 10 more than that. And then this might have been a game. This might have been a nail biter, but I think Knicks still would have pulled it out. That's the thing about this team. You saw how they let a 20-plus lead shrink down to 9 and then kept pushing it back up to 12, to 15, 13. Then it comes back to 10. Boom, boom, boom. It ended up a plus 10. But that is the mark of a high-quality team. Pay attention to that. Knicks put up 44 three-pointers. I thought they might hit 50 tonight. They put up 44, connected on 15 of them, 34.1%. And there were several that were really good looks. That there were at least, and I think Coach Brown even referenced that. There probably another 5 of them could have easily gone down. And then this game just would have been sayonara. Sayonara. All right. Team stats. Here we go. Knicks did not shoot well overall tonight, 38.4%. But they shot. Oh, wait. Interesting. Totally different. No. That's Boston. Sorry. Knicks put up 45 three-pointers. Sorry about that. They connected on 17. The Knicks shot 37.8%. Okay, so they were more efficient, but they still were shots. They could have been in the mid 40s percent of efficiency from the 3-point line if some of those shots had gone down. Sorry about that confusion. Knicks shot 37.8%, almost 38%. The free throw line has been phenomenal for the Knicks this year. They went to the free throw line against the Cavs like 30-something plus of the time and hitting like 90% of them. Here we're at 88%. Essential for a team with championship aspirations. Make your threes. Make your freeze. The boards, total domination there. Boston's a pretty small team right now. 53 rebounds to 37. Knicks were great there. The assists, 23 to 19. Assists are not at the level I'd like them to be, but still, they bested the opponents. The steals, they got sloppy. They only come up with 7 steals. They gave up 10 blocks. They gave up 7 blocks, only got 4 back. They committed 20 turnovers. A lot of those were in the second half. And points conceded off those turnovers, though, they only gave up 16 points off of those 20, which is very important. While they, off of the 16 turnovers that they forced Boston to give up, they were able to collect 23 points off of that. So the Knicks were a plus 7 in points off turnovers. Fast break points. They won that battle 15-2. Points in the paint. They did lose that one, 36-30. A lot of that is Cat. Cat was just not efficient inside the arc. Like I mentioned, only 2 of 10. But the fouls, they kept those in check. The Knicks only committed 17 fouls. Not a single Knick had more than 3 fouls tonight. The largest lead was 24 for the Knicks, and they were once down by 8. Great win. Great win for the New York Knicks. Now, wasn't the most beautiful second half. Tale of two halves, as Coach Brown says. But it's essential that the Knicks keep racking up these wins right now and learn while they're doing it. They're learning about themselves. It's a work in progress. It's not perfect at all by any stretch of the imagination. But the fact that they were able to hang on and not really let their lead that they had built up get into any real serious danger And Brown, to his testament, he didn't panic when the lead started going from 24 to 18 to 15 to 12. He didn't panic and shove all the starters back in. And, I mean, Mikal Bridges played a decent amount of minutes, 36 minutes for him. But Towns, 34 minutes. Brunson, 34 minutes. Deuce, who started, 32 minutes. So he's keeping the minutes at a reasonable rate. And the Knicks had enough at the end of the game to close this out because they weren't burnt out. All right. Oh, hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. Turn on the notification bell so you're alerted when I drop a video. And hit the thumbs up button for me. Share the video. If you want to support the Knicks-Verse, join the channel. Actually, here, let's go here. Here, become a member today. The join button is down below. Really appreciate it. And I shout out to all the members who have joined so far. I really appreciate it tremendously. You get the merch discounts, priority reply to comments, members only shorts, and we're going to have the chat room in Discord, and we're going to be doing Discord calls. There might be some shows that are only for members to call in. So check that out. Also, check out the merchandise store. If you can't become a member, or do both. Do both. This is going to be a glorious year. We have some great new merchandise at the store. You can check it out. New York basketball designs. Really love it. All right. Follow me on social media. Drop your comments because I want to hear your thoughts and feelings about Knicks. Anything about the Knicks. Love it. You guys are my co-collaborators. Knicks play Sunday in Miami. Of course, I'm going to try to do a pregame show and a live one. And, of course, always going to be here for a postgame show. For the best postgame shows. Best postgame shows around. Thank you for watching this. I will see you around the Knicks-Verse. Let's go.